Currently, most researchers deny the historicity of the Jewish exodus from Egypt mentioned in the Bible, simply because we have no evidence that these people ever lived in the land of the pyramids and that they left. On the contrary, the evidence that the Jews were the local population in Canaan is quite numerous. However, the lack of evidence does not automatically mean that the events described in the book of Exodus are fictitious. On the contrary, they could well have happened, and the general course of Egyptian history indicates that all this could have happened in reality. However, it is quite difficult to establish the name of the pharaoh from whom the Jews fled. Egyptian sources describing the lives of their kings are quite well preserved. However, they focus on glorifying their reign and are a list of achievements and victories. That is, no one writes real chronicles such as, in the summer of 1300 BC, the slaves who worked on the construction of the pyramids left the country. Pharaoh Ahmose chased them through the desert in chariots until he got tired of them, but he could not catch anyone. As for the compilers of the Old Testament, they clearly did not have access to the list of pharaohs, and they could avoid mentioning a specific name so as not to confuse the data. In addition, the Egyptians themselves avoided mentioning the names of their rulers either when addressing them or in official documents. The word pharaoh originally meant great house, which meant the royal palace, and only later it became a title. Therefore, the Israelites, who were subjects of the country of the pyramids, could act in the same way. Also, there is another nuance. The pharaohs mentioned in the corresponding chapters of the Bible are different people. The first one mentioned is the one who tried to take Abraham's wife Sarah from him, then the one who appointed Joseph as his nobleman. After that, the pharaohs of the period of oppression, and only at the very end, the man during whose reign the Egyptian plagues took place, who chased the Jews, but retreated because of the incredible behavior of the Red Sea. And we are most interested in the last pharaoh, and Ramses II is the best candidate in this case. He is one of the greatest Egyptian pharaohs, who reigned for 66 years, which is one of the arguments in his favor. He is known for a series of successful wars in Canaan and grandiose construction in the second part of his reign. The wars could have brought him a significant number of Semitic slaves, and he simply needed them for the construction. Or, as an option, the Asian population could have remained in Egypt since the reign of the Hyksos kings. Ramses II was a representative of the 19th dynasty, and the 18th expelled the Jews, so this Ramses fits the timing just right. Another serious argument in his favor is the construction projects of this monarch. His family came from the eastern part of the Egyptian delta, where the capital of the country moved during his reign. He founded several new cities, and the construction of the latter is recorded in the Bible. And they set over him taskmasters to wear him out with hard labor. And he built for Pharaoh Pithom and Rameses cities for stores. He is Joseph, the Jewish minister of the ruler of the Egyptians. Rameses, or Per Rameses, the house of Rameses, became the capital from the time of this king. It was located a kilometer from Avaris, the former residence of the Hyksos rulers. In close proximity was the land of Goshen, the part of Egypt where, according to the Bible, the Jews lived and from which they later left. From here it was easy to control the Asian possessions of the Egyptian Empire. But much more important is the fact that Ramesses' successor was Merneptah, one of his few sons who managed to outlive his long-lived father. He resumed military operations in Canaan. Apparently, the locals tried to free themselves from foreign rule after the death of the great pharaoh. His successes are described in the famous Merneptah Stele, the first external document mentioning the Jews. Israel is desolate, his seed is gone, as it is written on the stele. This implies a union of ancient Jewish tribes that already lived in the place where they later founded the state of Israel. That's the story.